So as much as I love my Tesla, and I've been driving Teslas for the last 5 years, there are still a couple things about them that I don't like and I could prefer to live without, or prefer that Tesla would fix down the line in the long run. So in this video, I'm going to be going over a couple things about my Tesla that I don't like. So the first thing that I don't like about my Tesla is the wireless charger. Now, don't get me wrong, it's really nice having a wireless charger right on the center console that I can put my phone down and just have it charge wirelessly, but unfortunately the wireless charger itself is not very great. It really heats up my phone more than it actually even charges it. So in the long run, I hope this is something that Tesla can fix, or maybe they can give us some kind of software update that allows us to turn off the wireless charger so that I could at least put my phone there, because I do like having it there so I can look down to see if there's any notifications and whatnot. I much prefer to actually plug my phone into the USB-C that's located in the center console and just kind of have the phone sitting in my cup holder or sitting on the wireless charger horizontally like I usually put it. But overall, really don't like the wireless charger. I like that it's there. It's a nice feature, but it just doesn't perform very well. Now, the next thing I don't like about my Tesla is the emergency latch that is on the front driver's side and the front passenger side. Now, the reason I don't like this emergency latch is because it is very easy to find. So if I'm picking up a friend or a family member or even random strangers when I'm doing rideshare, I always have to keep my eye on them and make sure that when they're getting out of the vehicle, that they use the actual button that you're supposed to use to get out of the vehicle versus using the emergency latch. So hopefully down the line, Tesla can maybe move this around somewhere or make it a little bit less apparent for people to find. Because if you go in the back seats, it's very well hidden. You literally have to move this piece of rubber and take that whole thing out just to expose where the emergency latch is, where this one's kind of just prominently there. So again, it's nice that it's easy to get to because, again, it's used for if the car runs out of power and you need to open the door. But I still don't like how it is and how it actually functions because it's way too easy for people to pull by mistake. So the next thing I don't like about my Tesla Model Y are the seat belts that are in the back. And the reason I have an issue with this is because these seat belts are coming from behind the seat. Therefore, if somebody unbuckles out of the seat belt and everything, and they allow that clip that they used to buckle in, if they kind of fling it back, it'll fly back and start rattling on the back of the seat. Now, this becomes a real issue because obviously it creates a rattle that doesn't need to be there, and we all know Tesla's pretty notorious for having some rattle, especially in their older vehicles. Although the nice thing I will say about this complaint that I have about my Tesla is that if you get a newer Tesla Model Y, they have moved where the rear seat belts are coming from. They're coming from like the back pillar versus coming from behind the seat. So hopefully this eliminates the problem. I have test driven a newer Tesla Model Y. I'll link that video down below. And luckily with the new one, because the seat belts are coming from the back pillar and they're not coming from the back, it can't get flung in a certain area where it'll fall somewhere and start rattling against the other plastic. So again, this is annoying because whenever somebody I pick up for rideshare or a family or friend is back there and they fling the seat belt back, the buckle gets up there and it starts rattling. So I have to get out, go in the back, take the buckle down the rope and let it go down so it sits on the seat and not behind it, and then to basically eliminate that rattle. So luckily Tesla has fixed this problem, but because I have an older Model Y, it's still a problem for me. Now, the next thing I don't like about my Tesla Model Y is the plastic strip that is in the bottom floor of the hatchback. Now, the reason I have an issue with this is that it is very prone to scratches. Any kind of furniture, luggage, boxes, items that I've put on there in the back of the hatchback and loaded up, I have accidentally kind of hit this plastic strip there at the tip and it has scratched it, unfortunately. And there's tons of scratches on it now because at this point, there's not really much I could do about it because it's already been scratched up. But it is annoying that it's there and it's just kind of an eyesore every single time I open up the hatchback and I just kind of see that there's a bunch of scratches there. Again, going back to the seat belts like I was talking about earlier, this is something that Tesla has fixed in the new Model Y, because now instead of there being a plastic strip there, it has now been replaced with the carpet that is on the back. I don't know if there's any kind of aftermarket things that you can put over it or whatnot. I imagine there might be. Let me know in the comments below if you know any of that. But for me, unfortunately, I didn't know about that. So after all the times I've been using the hatchback and loading stuff up, the plastic on the bottom there now is full of scratches. And finally, the last thing that I don't like about my Tesla Model Y is the AC system and how sometimes it stinks. Yes, sometimes the AC system, the air that's blowing out of it has kind of like a nasty moldy mildew smell. And this has to do with the evaporator not being clean when you change the filters. I've always changed the filters by myself for the last couple of years that I've owned Teslas, and I've done it 2 or 3 times now. So it's pretty easy once you do it once or twice. You kind of just get the hang of it. But either way, I found out that you actually have to use an evaporator cleaner, and I had seen that in the past, but honestly I got lazy and I just kind of changed the filters, and then it smelled fine. But of course, not too long later, a couple months later, it started to smell again. And what's odd about it, even though I didn't use the evaporator cleaner, it smells sometimes and then other times it smells fine. So it's kind of a weird thing that it kind of goes back and forth. And again, I've learned my lesson. Next time I change the filters, I will be using the evaporator cleaner, which will probably happen sooner than later since they do smell a decent amount of the time now. But overall, not too happy about, that my AC system will smell like mildew from time to time. And so that's it. Those are a couple things that I do not like about my Tesla Model Y. By no means is this a video saying that I don't like this and I don't like that and I'm going to get rid of this car and all this other stuff. I love my Tesla. I don't think I can go back to any other car brand. But let me know in the comments below, what are some of the things that you don't like about your Tesla if you own one and everything? Do you have the smelly AC like I do? Do you have some of the other issues that I do having an older Model Y? Do you have the new Model Y and do you have issues with some of the new features in the new Model Y? Let me know in the comments down below. But till then, everybody, I appreciate it if you watched this far. Have a good day, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.